And welcome back to the Untitled Corp video. Today, on Tuesday, the 25th, I'm doing it like a freaking box office video. Why am I doing that? This song comes to us from Fat Dan and iMember. Reference to the member berries from South Park, I'm imagining. Who asked the question, what Lantern Corp do I think Deadpool belongs in? So, right at the bat, we're going to have to get a few things out of the way right now. There's different versions of Deadpool, obviously, particularly the movie version of Deadpool. But you did not ask for the movie version of Deadpool, because I'm going to tell you right now, the movie version of Deadpool is not the same character. I mean, it's Deadpool, but when you talk about the facets of the character that would qualify them for a Lantern Corp, they're not the same character. No, there are differences between the characters that stand out. A lot of differences, because you're trying to cram the plot of a character into the plot of one movie or two movies in series, versus God knows how many decades worth of history of another character. Likewise, Deadpool is a difficult individual to pin down, and the reason for that is because he's insane. So his personality is so in flux half the time, including multiple personalities in there, that, or at least voices in his head, that where he kind of fits is very difficult to pinpoint. But I can name a few right off the top of my head. Before I do that, let me get a couple out of the way right now that I don't think he belongs in. I'm not going to go over each one, but I am going to go over a couple that someone might think he does, but I don't believe he does. Right off the bat, White Lanterns? No. Now, Deadpool is technically functionally immortal. He was actually cursed at one point with life by Thanos, so he could not wind up with death, who Thanos was loving, but he was crushing on death. It was a whole weird love triangle. Point being, he's no longer cursed with life, but he's still pretty much functionally immortal. But Deadpool has killed so many people, and he's got a very fun lust for life. He can be very wacky. But at the same time, he goes out and kills people for a living. That automatically detracts him, I think, from being a White Lantern, because he just kills so much. Should also know, I don't think he would belong in a Lantern Corps of Rage. Now, reason I don't think he belongs in a Lantern Corps of Rage isn't because he doesn't have anger in him. He certainly does, and he resents the people who did what they did to him. But at the same time, when you're looking at a Lantern Corps, you have to think of the emotion that best defines that character and that character's traits. And quite frankly, it doesn't do that with Deadpool. Rage he's not, I mean, he can get angry, he can get upset, he can want vengeance, but he's not someone who is fueled by his rage. Lastly, or just to talk before we go into the big three candidates I think are the most likely. Orange, avarice, greed. Now, it's Lantern Corps greed. You do have to be a certain level of greedy, of wanting things to desire. In fact, you need to you really should have a high level of greed. That's why Lex Luthor ended up getting a lantern ring, because he's never satisfied. He's got that level of greed. But at the same time, it does amplify the amount of greed in you. Deadpool can be selfish, but he's not a good candidate in my mind for the Lantern Corps avarice. I don't think that is the case. Yeah, he'd have to kill Larfleeze for it, and he'd have no issue trying to kill Larfleeze for it, but he's ultimately not a good candidate in my perception for the Lantern Corps of Orange. Or Orange Lantern Corps of avarice. But with that being said, which Lantern Corps are he? Wow, my grammar is just shit at the moment. What Lantern Corps do he? I'm actually pissing myself off right now. I was like, why am I having such trouble formulating a sentence right now? Which Lantern Corps are the best fit for him? Jeez, how hard was it to get that sentence out? So right off the bat, and this is going to probably be the one that some people are going to say is most obvious, or people might not think is the most obvious, Black Lanterns. Now, Lantern Corps of Death is kind of an obvious pick for him. He has such a, not symbiotic, but a revolving relationship with Lady Death, that it kind of makes sense. Plus, he's kills for a living. He kind of gets some level of enjoyment out of it. So he's, God knows how bathed in the blood of how many. Plus, he has died on several occasions. He's just come back because it's Marvel. Technically speaking, 95% of all the Marvel Universe could qualify for a Black Lantern ring, just on the grounds that they have died before. But Deadpool definitely, again, because of his technical love with for death, he could definitely qualify for a Black Lantern ring, I think. Should note, sorry, I thought I heard someone. Should note that I don't think Love is a candidate for him. He's not a Sapphire. Movie Deadpool is a different story, but we're talking about comic Deadpool. While he's certainly capable of it, he's had many relationships over his years. His personality is just so in flux that it's like he moves on. He can easily move on. It's not the thing that motivates him ultimately. It all depends on where you catch him in his life, but ultimately it's not one that I think he'd really qualify for. The next one on the list is kind of an obvious one, is Fear. Now, Fear, of the three we're going to go over, Fear I think is actually the least likely. Not to say people aren't scared of Deadpool. People are scared of Deadpool, particularly regular, just kind of street-walking thugs, very scared of Deadpool because he will just kill them. The superhero community, though, isn't so much scared of Deadpool from what I can tell, but just more annoyed with Deadpool. And they know he's a threat. He's a credible threat, depending on the circumstance. But because there's so many metahumans in the world, mutants and humans, scientific experiments, aliens, whatnot, it's like, okay, yeah, Deadpool's dangerous, but he's not so much scary as annoying and dangerous. And even then, dangerous is more like he's like Deadpool is firing at him. They're not like, oh god, what am I gonna do? They're more like, oh god damn it, Deadpool. Boom. Just like, yeah, it's more like that. Now, regular street-walking scum and just your kind of average, human villain, different story to some regard. He definitely scares people, certainly. So, while he certainly could be a Yellow Lantern, it's not his most dominant trait. The only other one to talk about really is kind of the obvious one, Green Lanterns. Deadpool could qualify for Green Lantern Corps. He's definitely got willpower. I mean, the shit he's had to deal with, the amount of pain he has to deal with. Especially when we talk about how much damage he's had to incur over his life and endure. And then basically have to, deal with it long term is quite impressive. It takes a lot of willpower and control. So he certainly could be a Green Lantern. But if I'm gonna be flat out honest, for one of the things that kind of detracts him a little bit is just how much he kills. Although they did remove the whole stipulation that a Green Lantern can't kill. But if I'm gonna be just the flat out honest betting man here, I actually go black. I think Black Lanterns are his most likely candidate for a Lantern Corps. When you factor in the fact he's died several times, he kills God knows how much, specifically for a living, and his relationship with Lady Death, I think Black Lanterns actually make the most sense for Deadpool. You could make an argument in some versions of Deadpool. Sapphire might work. He's too nihilistic for hope. And he's too flip-floppy and for compassion. He's definitely got compassion. There's that famous comic where he's helping a suicidal girl get help. So he certainly does have it, but it's not his strongest attribute. And for me, I'm actually going Black Lantern with this. Most of the time, I don't go Black Lantern because it's kind of an obvious one, especially for characters who have already died or are dead. But yeah, in this case, Black Lantern I think actually makes the most sense. But what do you think? You think it's black, green, yellow, or could you make a strong argument for any of the other colors? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of that at some point. I'll see you next time, folks. I got a who would win, and that's it. Later.